Hello students, welcome back to Education on Cloud. So ivaga exam hatra bartide. So let's see what are the important topics chapter wise. So first and foremost, first chapter name is number theory. So idralli ನಾವು 1 mark question, 2 mark question, 3 mark question ಎಲ್ಲಾನು separate ಆಗಿ ನೋಡೋಣ. So first question, 1 marker question. Give the canonical representation of number 96, 306, 5005. So ಈ ಮೂರಕ್ಕೂ ನಾವು canonical representation ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು represent ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. So what is this basically? So this is basically nothing but prime factorization method. So you're just going to do prime factorization method and represent this. So the first question is representing the number in the format of 96. For 96 you have to represent it in the product of primes. So 96, there is nothing much to explain in this. You just have to keep on going on until it is a product of prime. So 3 one time until you get 1, you have to keep on proceeding it. So how can I write this? So 1 2 3 4 5, I have totally 5 2 times, 2 5 times, right? So 2 to the power 5 is what I will be writing into 3 to the power 1. So like this you have to solve for 306 as well as 5005 also. So this is nothing, this was something related to 1 mark. So define prime number. How do you define a prime number? What is prime number first of all? Prime number is such a number, for example, you can give examples, right? If at all if you're not well versed in defining a prime number, you can just state in your lame words and write for example. So what are the prime numbers? So numbers which will be having, the numbers which are the divisors is either it will be having 1 or the number itself, right? So for example 3, 5, 2 or 7, 9, 7, 11 or anything. You can just name few examples. And define composite number. Composite number is such a number which is not a prime number. So what does that mean? A number will be having more than 2 factors. That is, for example 3, example 9. So what are the numbers or factors which you can write for 9? So it is something like 1 can be a factor, 3 can be a factor, 9 can be a factor, right? It is something which is having more than 2 factors. Here you can just take one number. If at all if I am taking 11, the factors for this will be 1 and 11 only, that is number 1 and number itself. But if at all if it is a composite number, it will have the number itself, and other than these two numbers you will be having other numbers also. Suppose 16. So 1, 2, 4 and 16, right? It is having more than 2 factors, hence that is the number which is having 1 and number itself is prime number, and which is not a prime number is composite number, right? Next question. If z1 is equal to 2 plus 3i, z2 is equal to 1 plus 1 minus i, you have to find out z1 plus z2. Similarly, the next question you have other one wherein you have to find out z1 minus z2. So now over here how are we going to solve? So suppose if it is addition, it is going to have a1 a plus c plus I into b plus d, right? This is how you are supposed to solve. First I'm just going to add both of it in the same manner and I'll keep. This is a, b, c and d. According to the formula it is going to be a plus c plus I into b plus d. So a plus c plus I into b is going to be my 3 and d is going to be minus 1. Minus I is nothing but minus 1. So when I just add this I'll be getting 3 and I is there. 3 minus 1 is 2. So therefore 3 plus 2i is going to be my sum of that. Then the next question was subtraction, that is z1 minus z2. So for that formula is going to be a minus c plus I into b minus d. First I'll be writing the same thing, just adding a subtraction sign over there. So the next thing is a minus c. A is 3 minus c. So minus of minus 3 becomes plus 3, right? Similarly b minus d. The b value was 6 and minus d, it was plus 1, so it is going to be minus 1. So 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 minus 1 is 5, 1, right? The next question, what was the next question? Find the real part of 3 plus 5i. So what is the real part? The next question is find the imaginary part. Find the imaginary part of it. So it is very simple. There is nothing much to explain over here. 3 real part is something which is not followed with I. So imaginary part is something excluding I, whatever the number attached to I, you have to write that. So real number is going to be 3 and imaginary part is going to be 5. Similarly, when suppose if they have given in the fraction, the real part is going to be 2 upon 3 and the imaginary part is going to be, you have to also consider the sign. Even if it is negative also, you should consider the sign as well, right? See over here it is minus 4 upon 5i, so it is going to be minus 4 divided by 5. Similarly, the next question also over here, they have asked you to find out imaginary part of 4 minus I. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ 4 minus 1i ಅಂತ consider ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ. So 4 minus 1i. So the imaginary part is what they have asked. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ imaginary part is going to be equal to minus 1. Right. Next question. Find the conjugate of 3 minus 2i. So conjugate andre it is nothing but just change the sign. So idu 3 plus 2i agutte. Right. Next, express 8 upon 125 as decimal format. Right, first this was something conjugate which we completed. So 8 divided by 125, you have to write it in decimal format. So how is that I'm going to proceed with this? So you can even do this normal division also and then find out this decimal format, but it is very simpler. See, denominator I'm going to bring it in either tens or hundreds or thousands, whichever the nearest one which is possible, I am going to bring that to that format. See this 8, I am just multiplying and dividing with 2 power 3, that is 2 cube is what I am multiplying and dividing. So 125 into 8, 8 into 8 is going to be 64, 125 into 8 gives me 1000. So now it is very simpler for me. There is nothing much I have to do calculation. It is just that I have to put a decimal point. So it is going to be 0.064 is going to be my decimal format. Right. The next question is, you just have to find out the HCF between these three numbers. Again, there is no much explanation required over here. You have to just find out the numbers, that is the factors you have to find out between these three numbers, 16, 24 and 48. Once you find out what is the difference between HCF and LCM. So HCF is going to have the lowest power and LCM is going to have the highest power. That is, suppose see over here 2 power 4, 2 cube and 2 to the power 4 is there. Between this, if I have to find out HCF, HCF is something like which will be having common between all and the least power. So between this 2 cube and 2 to the power 4, 2 cube is my least. And can I consider 3? No, I cannot consider 3 because in 16 I don't have the factor 3 at all. So my HCF is going to be 2 cube, which is going to be equal to 8. Suppose for the same question, if I ask you what is going to be the LCM, it is going to be the highest factor. HCF alli least factor consider madidve. So LCM alli highest factor is what? That is highest power is what we need to consider. So 2 to the power 4 into 3 is going to be my LCM. Right. Next question. Find the number of divisors of the question. So you have two different set of question. That is the first question they have given you as product of primes. First question product of primes ಅವರೇ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ 1644 ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನ ಪ್ರೈಮ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರೈಸೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿ you have to consider this as a product of primes, then you have to go ahead and find the number of divisors. So for this, the first question, how are we going to solve this? So format and all it is not required, but I just have written you for understanding sake. It is P1 to the power A1 into P2 to the power A2 into P3 to the power A3. So P values ella whatever it is there in the whatever is there as a whole number, that is what it is going to have. A is going to be your power, that is A1 is 4, A2 is 3 and A3 is going to be equal to 2. So now you have to find out the the total number of divisors, right? Adana heng find out ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ 1 plus a1 into 1 plus a2 into 1 plus a3. So a1 value, a2 value, a3 ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು. So ಅದನ್ನ when I'm just substituting that 1 plus 4 into 1 plus 3 into 1 plus 2, I'll be getting 5 into 4 into 3, which is going to be equal to 60. Right. In the same manner, I have to find the number of divisors for this question also. That is 1644. But idralli ಏನ್ difference ಅಂದ್ರೆ, you have to first find out. In the previous question, we already had this value. That is, they had given you the number of the product of primes they had given you. But here ನಾವೇ first ಅದನ್ನ find ಮಾಡಿ, then we are supposed to find out. So over here, when I'm just finding the prime factorization, the factors I'll be getting as 2 square into 3 to the power 1 into 137. 137 is a prime number. So over here 2 ಇಲ್ಲಿ powers ಮಾತ್ರ consider ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. 2, 1 and 1 is what I'm having. So again 1 plus 2 into 1 plus 1 into 1 plus 1. So 3 into 2 into 2, which is going to be equal to 12. Right. So what is my next question? Find the least integer divisible by 18 and 24. So least anta bandaga LCM find out ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Highest, greatest, something like related to highest, greatest, HCF. So whenever it is least or something related to lower numbers, when it is least integer, you have to find out LCM. When it is greatest or highest, you have to find out HCF. So you just have to find out the LCM between 18 and 24. We'll see that. So if the product of two numbers is 216 and LCM is being given, you have to find HCF in the next question. In the next question, HCF is being given, product of two numbers is being given, LCM is what you have to find out. Now we'll go ahead and find out all these three questions at one stretch. So you have to, as I said we have to find out LCM between these two numbers. LCM ge first ನನಗೆ product of primes ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಕು. So 2 to the power 1 into 3 square is what I can write. 2 cube into 3 to the power 1 is what I'll write. So LCM is going to be highest, I said LCM ಅಲ್ಲಿ the power has to be greatest. ಅದನ್ನ consider ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. So 2, 1 and 2 to the cube ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು highest? 2 cube is highest. Similarly 3 square highest, 3 to the power 1 highest. So 3 square is highest. That is what is my LCM. So same question ge HCF find out ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ you have to consider the least one. That is 2 to the power 1 into 3 to the power 1, which is going to be equal to 6. HCF 6 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. LCM is going to be equal to 72. The next question was something you have to find out the relation. See, LCM into HCF, the product of two numbers is going to be equal to LCM into HCF, right? Ivaga idu in the question they have already given you the product of two numbers, that is A into B avare kottidare. A into B, the value is 216. Similarly, LCM is being given. If you have to find out HCF, see, LCM is being given. LCM is what we have to find. LCM is being given, HCF is what you have to find out. Two numbers is being given. ಇದು ಮಾತ್ರ ನನಗೆ ಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ LCM ಇರೋದನ್ನ ನಾನು ರೈಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಗೆ ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ it becomes as a denominator, right? Hence I'll be getting A into B divided by LCM. So when I just substitute the values, when I divide, I'll be getting the HCF value as 6. Similarly, ಇದೇ ತರ HCF ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, number of two product of two numbers ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, you have to find out LCM. So this in the previous question HCF is equal to product divided by LCM ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, but LCM ಗೆ product divided by HCF. Very simple. So it is going to be 52920 divided by 42, which is going to be equal to 1260, right?